I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here inside the Hub Culture studio. It's Davos 2019. An enormous focus has been this time round on inclusivity. And I'm really pleased to be joined by Barri Rafferty, not her first time in Hub Culture's studio, President and CEO of Ketchum. Now tell me how you're thinking about inclusivity. And what I love is that we've moved past this whole idea of diversity. We know that the world is diverse, right? But it's about how you bring everyone to the table so that we're all lifted up. So tell me what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I'm really excited this year that inclusivity has broadened, right? Because it started when I first came 9 years ago, it was all about women and equity, and that's still important and part of the agenda. But what you're seeing this year for the first time is disability talked about. The Cooper Hewitt has inside the conference center, right, an exhibit showcasing ways to engage and help that community. We, as part of Omnicom, we're one of 7 companies to launch an LGBTI inclusivity and really equality focus on moving companies forward and making them feel a part of the community. A lot of talk about ageism and refugees, right? And you know, having a co-chair this year being from a refugee camp, he talked about we just want to feel human and part of society. So to me, the great takeaway from this Davos is how do we all broaden our definition of inclusivity and make sure in our communities, in our companies, right, in our governments, that we are looking at it more broadly and making those people feel comfortable and allow them to bring their whole selves to the community.
And tell me how you're doing that at Ketchum. One of the things that I've been speaking to people about is how do you think differently about inclusivity? How do you think I want to hire more handicapped people rather than getting caught up on is there a wheelchair ramp?
Yep.
How should you be thinking about it?
Well, we have Belong at Ketchum, and that is very broad in what it talks about. And we actually have people in our community and an advisory board helping us think about it differently. But a few things we've done is, one, focus on flexibility. It doesn't matter to us anymore exactly where you work. So if you're handicapped and maybe can't commute every day, how can you work from home and how can we tap your talents? We also talk about words and visuals, right? Our maternity policy is now a family bonding policy. And it's inclusive of things, right, like adoption and surrogate and all of the other ways, right, just not traditional birth. We also had lactation consulting as an offer. Well, not everyone wants to do that. So now we can have sleep aid to help your baby sleep at night, which, of course, everyone we know, being a parent, wants. So some of it's around, right, the language of how you put your policies forward. Some of it, and we're lucky in terms of able to be a force for good in marketing, to also help change norms and values through how we showcase. So whether that's, you know, gay couples and commercials and advertising, or working right now, we're working with Gillette on changing the feelings about masculinity. And so allowing
so great. That advertisement has really captured, I think, people's attention.
It has,
the toxic masculinity and combating that idea. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, the idea is really to look at the best in men, right? And to combat and talk about and call out some of that toxic masculinity. But I think the goal is to change social norms. You know, when Always came out with Like a Girl,
loved that.
It was a negative term. Now it's primarily a positive term. And so I think companies have the ability, and Procter & Gamble has been very forward in that, in helping us use marketing to change society.
I wish that everyone would do that. I wish that all marketing, in fact, was a force for good, because it is so powerful, because it's now everywhere, right?
It is everywhere. And I think another topic here you're seeing is CEO activism and purpose. And as people look to companies, right, they expect those companies now to take more of a societal stand and to have more of an impact, whether that's in terms of, you know, sustainability and other areas, looking at the circular economy now, how do we change packaging and create that relationship that's different. So to me, this year, Davos has moved a little bit from some of the theory, and you can use climate control as one, to how do we really clean up and do things different? And I think that's the exciting part this year, is we're getting a little bit more to action on some of these topics.
Barri, thank you very much for stopping by the Hub Culture studio, which is now heating up rather nicely.
It is, a little warm and cozy in here compared to outside.
When you step outside, the temperature drops about 40 degrees. Anyway, I'm Edie Lush. Thank you for being with us.